This is Cougan Cassius for IFL TV and Matchroom Boxing. We're in Astley, Salford, Greater Manchester, somewhere up north anyway. Indeed. We're at the VIP boxing gym. With me, I've got Ricky Boylan. How are you, Ricky?
I'm all good, mate. Just finished my last session for this week now, and yeah, just looking forward to a rest now.
So obviously the huge O2 show next weekend, Saturday the 31st. A very intriguing contest between you and Tommy Martin. How's the banter been going on Twitter and all the social media sites?
Yeah, there's obviously a little bit of needle. It's just we're both hungry, we both want it. I need it to bounce back from the Goodjohn defeat, and yeah, that's all it is really. And then a lot of it's just his muggy little fans talking a load of rubbish. But yeah, nah, we'll see on the night.
Going back to the Goodjohn defeat, I don't know how long it's going to be before you get stopped reminded of your first professional defeat as a professional boxer. But how long did it take you to get over that defeat, Rick? You know, I was gutted. I was truly gutted. But in a way, it's a weight off my shoulders, and at the same time, I knew, you know, my training camp weren't brilliant, and I knew that, you know, there was reasons that, you know, that could have, my performance could have been, you know, bothered by that. So yeah, so I knew that, you know, with a proper training camp with Jamie and whoever, it was not just necessarily that I'd obviously split with Alan, but I'd had a lot of disruptions outside of boxing as well. So, you know, I was in brilliant shape. It wasn't my fitness or anything like that. But yeah, as I said, the training camp went brilliant. So I know that with a full training camp with Jamie or whoever it may have been, then I would have put on a better performance. But you know, it was nip and tuck. It was a close fight. It was a good fight, and it was one that, you know, I can't buy that sort of experience. I've learned so much from that. So yeah, just looking forward to taking it into, you know, next Saturday's fight. It's not that uncommon, but you did make a pretty drastic move by moving yourself up north to situate yourself up here in Manchester, away from the south. What were the reasons for that? Obviously, I know you split with Al Smith, but you know, can you talk to me a little bit about why that happened?
I tried a couple of trainers down south. But there was no, you know, me and Alan, we split on amicable terms. We still talk now. I think I see him last week one day. I went down the gym and see him, and you know, yeah, we still talk now. We're still friends. So yeah, but the reason I come here was I'd sparred with Tommy out in Marbella before, and I'd planned. I think I'd just boxed on the Saturday, and then I sort of fell out of Alan. Not fell out, but we split with him on the Sunday. And obviously I'd had the Goodjohn fight 3 weeks, yeah, it was 3 weeks after. But I'd already planned to be coming up here to spar Tommy Coyle for a week. And obviously I said to Jamie and Tommy and that, I said, you know, I'll come up. I said, it's fine, but at the same time, you know, will you train me for the rest of this fight? Because obviously, you know, I had the biggest fight in my career coming up, and, you know, I was sort of trainless. But I tried a couple down in London and that, but you know, I'd worked with Jamie and that before a little bit in Marbella, and I really liked them. They're a good group of boys up here, and yeah, it's brilliant up here.
What did you take from your defeat to Goodjohn, and what did you learn from it that moving forward that you need to work on, that you need to put right going into this fight with Tommy Martin?
I think one major thing is that I've got to stay switched on at the whole time, and, you know, don't react to the crowd. And you know, Jamie and Nigel, to keep drilling it into my head, just do not react to the crowd. And, you know, I started a bit slow in that fight, but there was times where, you know, I was winning the round, I'd get caught with one shot, and then that was it. I'd just switch off and just lose the rest of the round. You know, and just giving away silly rounds because of that. So, you know, I've got to stay switched on this fight, and yeah, Jamie and Nigel, they've worked out a good game plan, so just got to execute it now.
I remember
obviously watching you on, you know, the smaller hall shows, you know, a couple of years ago, and as you was making your way in the pro ranks, now you're with Matchroom and you're fighting on Sky Sports at places like the O2. Your career, I mean, despite your defeat, has transformed in a big way.
Yeah, definitely. You know, being with Matchroom, it's been unbelievable. Last year I wasn't as busy as I'd like to have been, but it was no fault of Matchroom. It was, you know, I had a few niggling injuries and I was pretty unlucky last year. But you know, hopefully start on 31st January, get a good win, and hopefully have a busy year this year. It's brilliant boxing on all the big bills, and your profile just gets raised, you know, so much by fighting on Sky Sports. So yeah, just looking forward to another good year.
Who have you been sparring with up here?
I've had lots of sparring, really. Obviously sparred Tommy Coyle, Andy Colquhoun, I sparred Adil Anwar, Liam Taylor, Chris Jenkinson. You know, I sparred O'Hara Davis when I was down there. Johnny Garton and the other boys in the iBox gym. So yeah, I've had plenty of sparring. It's gone well. I've had a good camp. It just, you know, the last week now, and then that's it. Tapering down.
Tapering down, all ready for next week. How's your relationship with your promoter Eddie Hearn?
Yeah, I get on well with Eddie. You know, he's been wicked with me. I couldn't fault him really. Anytime he said that he'd be getting me out, he's got me out, and you know, credit to him for getting me this English title shot straight away, coming, you know, off the back of a defeat. So yeah, you know, it's been good.
He's alright, Eddie, and he's
not bad.
He's not bad. I think gets a lot of stick on the social media sites, but when you get to know him, he's alright. In patches, he can be alright.
Nah, he's good. I feel sorry for him when he gets stick about, you know, obviously the pay-per-view bill in I think it was Liverpool and things like that, because on paper I think like that was a good bill on paper, but the fights just didn't live up to, you know, what people expected of them, like Cleverly Blue and that. So yeah, you know, I feel sorry for him with the stick he gets there, because he can't do the fighting in the ring as well as make the fights. So
he's a big boy. I'm sure he can take it anyway.
Yeah.
So today's Friday. Obviously, we're a week and a day. Well, we're exactly a week away from you weighing. So obviously, you're more or less right on the weight there.
Yeah, that's it. I had a check weigh, I think it was on Tuesday, and I was literally £3 over then. So I'm flying. You know, as I said before, the camp's gone brilliant. My weight's gone well. Jamie and Nigel are happy with everything I've done. Had a really hard day yesterday. It was my last hard day, and so yeah, it's all done now. All the hard work's done, just tapering down.
Obviously, with Jamie Moore, what positives and what sort of influences does he have as a trainer, being former European champion, etc., etc.? And obviously his job on Sky as well, analysing fights and that, he knows the fight game inside out. Definitely. Which must be a key reason why, like I said, you wanted to be with him. Yeah,
definitely. You know, from the little time that I was out in Marbella with him and seeing him coach Tommy and him taking me on the pads and everything, he knows boxing. You know, his knowledge is second to none. He can watch a fight and analyse and sort of see the weaknesses of the other fighters straight away, and that's what he done. You know, he picked up on it and he set out a game plan, and you know, that's what we've worked to, and you know, it's just down to me doing it on the night. But you know, trainers aside, like, I respect him massively as a person, just, you know, from his boxing career as well. You know, he had some amazing wars with, you know, Macklin and Jones and people like that. You know, and as you said, he was British, Commonwealth and European champion, on the verge of fighting for a world title himself. So, you know, he's been there and done it, and he knows what it's like when it gets tough. So yeah, it's good. Nigel's a great coach as well. So we've got a good team here.
Just as you said that he walked in, I'm sure he heard that.
He was waiting for his mention.
Paying no attention now, absolutely not. Nigel Travis. All right, Corey.
He's a superstar, him.
Obviously, we're at the start of 2015 now. Realistically, what is your ambition by the end of this year, and what do you believe you can achieve, title-wise or fight-wise? What is realistic for Ricky Boylan?
Obviously one fight at a time, but I know I'm going to beat Tommy on the 31st, and I think I've got to defend again straight away against John Wayne Ibbott, maybe, or the loser of that fight, should I say, John Wayne Ibbott and Tyler Goodjohn. So I'd love the Tyler Goodjohn rematch. There's no needle there now. We've shook hands, and I respect him as a fighter. Just that I want to put it right, what the loss on my record, and but yeah, hopefully win this English title, defend it once, twice, move on to the Commonwealth or British, towards the back end of the year. But I definitely think I'm capable of winning the British title. Obviously Willie Lemon's champion at the minute. I think Chris Jenkins is mandatory, so they have to fight for it. But yeah, just see what happens. I've got a job on hand 31st January, and that's what I'm focused on at the minute.
What do you think of Tommy Martin as a fighter? How many of his performances have you seen? Are you impressed by him?
No disrespect to him, he's a good mover, good boxer and everything. He's only 20 years old. He's got a good future ahead of him, but he hasn't boxed anyone whatsoever. He might have boxed Matty Chews, had 14, lost 2 or whatever it is. But no disrespect to Matty, but Matty hasn't boxed anyone either. And I'm not saying that I've boxed at this top high level, because I haven't, but I've boxed at a higher level than him. I beat Tony Owen, which no one picked me to beat him for, and to win the Southern Area title. So he's a good fighter, but it's a fight that I definitely believe I can win, and I think I'm going to look good doing so.
Well, next week at the O2, Jan 31st, all these questions will be answered. So it should be a cracking show. It's a shame Anthony Joshua has had to pull out with his stress fracture, but the show still goes on, and it's still a great show. So let's just hope it's a good night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a top night. Obviously gutted about Anthony, but he's made the right decision. There's no point in fighting through injury and causing it to get any worse, or even maybe the result going against him because of the injury. So he made the right decision, obviously, and it's still a top bill. So obviously you got Kevin Mitchell, John Ryder, the Goodjohn and Hibbert fight. There's me, Tommy Martin. There's loads of good fights, so it'll be a good show. Absolutely.
All right, then. Well, listen, Ricky Boylan, thanks for talking to IFL TV and Matchroom Boxing. What are your fans called? Have you got a name for them?
Team Boylan.
Just Team Boylan.
I ain't got a clue. Yeah. Not Team Water Pistol Army or whatever he calls them. Tommy the Gun, is it?
Yeah, it's Tommy the Gun, I think.
Spud Gun.
That's down to you. Make them comments. But I thought, what about the Boylanettes?
The Boylanettes. What's that? What's the Boylanettes?
Well, they could be your little fan group, couldn't they? The Boylanettes or the Boylanators.
The Boylanators. I like that one.
Yeah.
I might put it across to them.
Start tweeting about the Boylanators later. So
we get a tweet out after this, yeah.
Team Boylanator. It could be Team.
The Boylanators. I don't know. Come, you must have a better one than that.
Don't know. Tweet Ricky Boylan your name for his fans, because I've got the Cougarnators.
Cougarnators.
Yeah. They're the fans. There's 3 of them.
I look forward to seeing these tweets.
All right, Ricky Boylan, thanks for talking to us, and listen, best of luck with the next week or so. Obviously, making weight on this time next week, and Saturday night's on.
It's done.
Ready.
I'm ready.
This is Kugan Cassius, Ricky Boylan. Thank you very much.